We are going on our anniversary trip very soon, and we want to save a little bit more money so that while we're gone, we can enjoy ourselves and go out to eat and that sort of thing.
Yep, 40th anniversary.
Yep.
So we're going to not plan on buying groceries for a week, and just eat out of our pantry, out of the food that we have here already.
Tiny House Prepper.
Hi everybody, I'm Bill.
And I'm Elizabeth with Tiny House Prepper.
And as we said, we're going to be eating this entire week from our Thrive pantry. Actually, it's not 100% Thrive because we'll also be eating things like pasta and rice that are still from our long-term storage, but not from Thrive.
Right.
Thrive does sell those things, but like for instance, we like parboiled rice and they don't have that, so we have parboiled rice.
Well, and any pasta I have has to be gluten-free.
Right.
So I have that around.
So 2 days ago we put up a video about the Italian rice, which was one of the meals, and in there I mentioned that we're going to be eating all week on Thrive, and I got numerous requests of, what are you doing? What is your recipe? I mean, what is your menu this week?
Yeah.
Well, I had never even thought that you would be interested in that. Did you think that?
Well, I probably should have, but no, I never really thought about it. Because really it would have been nice for us to have, like any meals that we have had that were just from our pantry, would be nice to have like filmed a little bit about that and kind of shown you. And we'll keep that in mind for the future.
Yeah.
But for right now, people have asked us, well, what kind of meals are you making? So we can tell you about some of the meals that we can make and not have to go out to the store to buy anything.
Right. So this is in direct response to several of your questions
Yeah.
of what our menu is this week. The week's almost over. We've already cooked most of them. We haven't filmed any of them except the Italian rice, but we can tell you what we're doing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We went in. We've got 6 of these that we can share about. And one thing I want to point out is that we're able to do different types of protein sources and different styles of food, ethnic styles, different kinds. So when we're eating out of just our stores, the Thrive Life and things like my gluten-free pasta and our parboiled rice, it's not just a million different variations on goulash. We really are able to put some good variety in. I just wanted to kind of share that with you. Now we can't do fish, and Bill and I enjoy fish. We do a lot of salads. We do fish.
Yeah, Thrive doesn't have fish.
They don't have fish. We enjoy liver. We really do, and it's a very nutritious meat. We enjoy liver. So that we'll enjoy having a steak every now and then. So this obviously isn't the kind of stuff that we can do without going to the store, but got a pretty good variety.
Right. So let's start.
Yeah, let's just start. Let me just go down the line and just tell you the 6 meals. Spaghetti, made with actually zucchini put in it. Extra like zucchini and extra veggies put in. A beef stew. Now this is the Italian rice. It's very good, and that's done enough differently than the spaghetti that there's some good variety there, made a little differently. One of the meals is a breakfast. What we like to call loaded eggs. In other words, we put lots of veggies in the eggs and maybe make some waffles, pancakes. I'll talk more about that. Turkey gravy over rice, turkey a la king over rice, and then a chicken corn chowder. So those would be like the 6. And if you think about it, we are using ground beef, sausage, eggs as a source of protein, turkey, roast beef, and chicken. So there's some definite variety there as far as the basic protein source.
Right.
So I like to make spaghetti really special with lots of the zucchini in it. It's really good, and I like to add more veggies if I possibly can. We put loads of veggies.
Yeah,
in
we've
our spaghetti.
always put more vegetables in our spaghetti sauce than many people do, but since we've started using Thrive, it's even easier to do.
I can just
and
dump
we load it up with onions and mushrooms and with the typical stuff. But
bell peppers and tomatoes.
Yeah, big chunks of bell peppers, tomatoes. She likes zucchini in it.
Zucchini. There's just all sorts of possible things.
And
Sometimes a little bit of spinach or kale. It's good.
And she always used to use the Thrive tomato powder,
Yeah.
which is like tomato paste in the can, and then she would spice up her own spaghetti.
Yeah, put my own herbs
sauce.
in it.
Now she has discovered the spaghetti sauce, or the tomato sauce, which is like pre-mixed
Like a marinara.
spices, and now she just uses that. And do you still add some of your own spices to that?
Oh yeah, and always garlic. I always use, dehydrated. I've got this wonderful garlic, and dump the garlic in.
But it's very fast and easy to make the sauce, and just dump in all the vegetables that you want, and we use either the hamburger or the sausage crumbles in there, and lots of veggies over. And then she has to use the gluten-free pasta, and then I use regular pasta for that.
Yeah.
So that's the spaghetti. And then we talked about the Italian rice, which is the one that we showed you the video of. It's kind of similar. It's kind of like a spaghetti sauce poured over rice instead of pasta, except it's not as juicy. I guess.
Yeah, and I'm adding extra zucchini in the spaghetti.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Italian, so this is just a couple of Italian meals, but they're just kind of different.
Yeah.
You
You
can
know,
use ground beef in one and sausage in
If
the
you
other.
think of Spanish rice, it's flavored, but it doesn't have a gravy over it. So Italian rice is kind of like that. It's not like spaghetti sauce poured over it. It's kind of like a rice flavored with Italian seasonings.
Kind of like a rice goulash. But yeah, it's just mixed in with the rice, and then we put some mozzarella on top. And so yum. All of this is coming out of our own stores.
Right.
Vast majority, I mean, basically all of it is the Thrive Life, except for things like the pasta.
The pasta and the rice.
And then I have this wonderful organic dried garlic that I have a grinder that I use. I love that stuff. I have that with nutmeg and with garlic, but I don't put nutmeg in the spaghetti. So yeah.
One of the easiest things to do ever with Thrive are various kinds of soups and stews.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you just open up the cans, you pour a little of this, a little of that.
Yeah.
It takes you about 2 or 3 minutes to throw it all in the pot, put in some water, and let it simmer for a few minutes, and you're done. And so we have 2 of those this week. We're doing beef stew, and we like to use the shredded beef.
Oh
And
yeah.
we put that in there, and then there's 2 different kinds of potatoes, and we use them both.
Yeah.
Either the potato chunks, which are dehydrated, or the diced potatoes, which is freeze-dried.
Freeze dried. Yep.
And then we just throw in whatever vegetables we like, and you just a little
Green
of this, a
beans
little
and
of that.
carrots, and
Yeah.
I like to put some tomato in it. And with the beef stew, we don't thicken it too much with the actual beef gravy.
Right, you can.
You can,
but I actually kind of prefer just beef.
like a little bit of bouillon.
Bouillon.
Yep, raw.
And just a little bit of the Thrive beef gravy
Yeah,
mix.
don't need much.
Yeah.
Another thing is that there is this powder that forms in any of the meats, vegetables, fruits, from just the crumbling of this dried food. Oh, that powder is the best stuff.
Yeah.
If I can scoop some of that up, and it just gets into that broth and flavors
Or like
it
you're talking about
crazy.
the beef. The beef,
yeah,
yeah.
beef
In the
powder.
bottom of the can, there'll be some powder where it crumbles a little bit, or you can actually make your own. You just put some in the blender and you turn the shredded beef into beef powder and pour it in there, and it flavors the broth like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, and it's actually just the meat,
Right.
which is nice.
And then the other thing is the chicken and corn chowder.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it has chicken and it has corn, and beyond that, you take it because I don't know what you're doing with
Basically, what it comes down to is just a really good potato soup, and I will use. Oh, my granddaughter painted me a bird feeder, and the birdies are. Sorry. I just noticed it
that.
there.
Yeah, that bird was able to get there because the squirrel's not there right now.
I know, it was, little teeny squirrel is just having a good heyday with all my bird seed.
Yeah.
My sister told me that would probably happen. She has problems with hers too. Anyway, sorry, I'll get back to it. Anyway, it's basically a good potato soup. I will use the white, the bechamel sauce mix. It works really well.
It's a white sauce.
White sauce. Make it with milk, put milk powder, and even the butter powder. It adds a little bit of nice, kind of some butteriness to it. And then, of course, it's got just a little bit less of the potatoes than a potato soup, because you put onion. But then I'll put in chicken, and I'll put in corn, and it'll thicken up. Especially the potatoes will kind of soften and thicken it up. It just makes a really lovely chowder. And of course, then they're both very, very easy to make. And so that's 2 of them that I'm doing. The a la king, turkey a la king, because the turkey can't last as well after it's open, the turkey or the ham, we don't, or the pulled pork, we get those in just pantry cans, and I'll use whatever I need and then put the other in the freezer. and then that way we can use them in plenty of time. Everything else will last like a year, but those are only, what, 3 weeks after they're
2
open?
weeks.
2 weeks.
It's the turkey, the ham, and the pulled pork. You said
Yeah.
just said that, didn't
Uh-huh.
you? Yeah. After you open the can, 2 weeks. So that's why we always get those in pantry cans.
And I think it's just because of the natural fats that are in the meat.
It's the type of fats that are in
Yeah.
those 3 meats.
Yeah, and they can go rancid.
All of the other meats, when you open them, they're still good for a year.
Yeah, and they do. They stay real well. But anyway, so turkey a la king couldn't be easier to make, and I won't make that like back to back with the corn chowder because it's a little bit of the same kind of a creamy sort of a thing. But yeah, you're just creaming up some turkey, and I'll put onion in, and I put mushrooms and everything I can possibly think of, and that'll be poured over the rice, and then that's the one where we'll do a big pile of separate vegetables. We'll usually do like some kind of greens and then one other vegetable quite often with it.
And
Or even
sometimes,
put some peas in the turkey.
and sometimes we really like to mix up the cheese blend into a cheese sauce that goes over the vegetables.
Vegetables, yeah, just a little bit
Yeah.
over there.
That's really good.
So, yep. And then for breakfast,
Breakfast is wide open. We can do so many things with
yeah.
breakfast because the eggs are just fabulous. We
Yeah.
can make them into omelets because you
he's
just
a good omelet maker.
you just rehydrate anything that you want to put in an omelet. You don't have to dice anything. You don't have to
Yeah.
clean and chop and cut. It's so fast and so easy. You don't have to worry about, I'm only going to use a quarter of a tomato because I'm making one omelet. What am I going to do with the rest of the tomato?
Yeah.
You just take out what you want, you put it in a bowl, you rehydrate it for a couple of minutes, and you make your omelet with it. Or something else that when I get lazy and I don't want to make an omelet, I make all the same thing and then I just mix it all together like in scrambled eggs, and we just call them loaded scrambled eggs. It's
Yep.
basically omelet scrambled.
Yep. Adds veggies. Once again, we're getting vegetables into
And
the
then
meal.
you can take either of the potatoes, the potato dices or the potato chunks, and refresh them and then fry them, home fries. And
In fact, with the potato chunks, if you actually just cook them for a while and give them a chance to get really soft because they take more time,
Right.
they will hold their shape beautifully to make
Right.
like home fries.
and then you can fry them. You can make potatoes O'Brien by putting in some onion and some green peppers.
Green and red peppers. Yeah,
red
bell peppers.
Yeah, and that's good.
Yes.
And then waffles or pancakes. We use Thrive has the best gluten-free flour on the planet.
Yeah, for me, I've never found better. It's got a nice mixture that I can just use cup for cup as regular flour. And we literally, especially since all this has happened, I ended up in the hospital. Bill's been my main cookster. And I just tell him, and he's been making, cooking great stuff. And I have all the ingredients to be able to put everything together. And I literally, as long as I have some source of, I haven't really figured out how to use the butter melty in it. You need some sort of oil in it, some sort of fat in it. But we use a little bit of vegetable oil, which I have in my pantry, of course. Someday I should figure out if I could use the butter with that. We'll have to see. But anyway, the point is that you just really, except for adding some kind of oil, literally just add water to all my dry ingredients.
Yeah, so the dry Thrive ingredients, the flour, either the gluten-free flour or they have regular flour, powdered eggs, powdered milk.
Right.
What
Of
else?
course, I have baking powder. That's part of my stores. I have, and you can get Thrive baking powder. But yeah, baking powder, a little bit of salt, flour, salt, baking powder, and then eggs, milk, and some source of oil. I like to put a little bit of vanilla. I wish Thrive could be selling the vanilla powder still, but apparently vanilla became prohibitively expensive. for them
Yeah,
to
they
do
had
that.
vanilla powder for a while and it was fabulous, but the price went up so high that they have discontinued it.
Right, but I do.
The price
keep-
of vanilla beans, and
Yeah.
anyway.
But anyway, I do have some vanilla powder in my stores, but I just have vanilla that's in my pantry that I put in. But anyway, so you can make a little bit of pancakes and some eggs, and anyway, that can make a nice meal, and we're still getting veggies into it.
Right, right.
So those are like the 6 ideas. They basically can completely come out of my pantry. I've been saving money for this trip anyway, and we need gas money to get where we're going. So
And then for breakfast and for lunch.
that's the next thing I was going to
Yeah.
mention.
For
Yeah.
lunch, when we make one of these meals, we make it big enough that we have leftovers the next day for lunch, and it works perfectly.
End up with just a small serving that makes a nice lunch.
Yeah.
And then we've both been trying to do at least just one smoothie a day as a meal, usually breakfast, and we make them really good, healthy, substantial smoothies.
Right.
And that I have everything I need for that.
Yep.
Absolutely everything.
We put in oatmeal in our smoothies. We put in powdered eggs for protein. We put in different kinds of fruits. We put in cocoa, chocolate.
I put in like kale or spinach or veggies into mine.
If I want to sweeten mine, depending on what vegetable, like if I use raspberry, they're real tart, so I need to sweeten it a little bit. So I use the honey crystals
Yeah.
to sweeten it. Everything that we need is in Thrive for the.
And I have some great organic stevia,
Right.
that I like to use. So, yeah, the smoothie. So everything we've needed for breakfast to do a nice smoothie with, with eggs in it, all sorts of good for you stuff, and then a little bit of a lunch, and our suppers.
Yep.
And I'm grateful to not have to go out and we can choose to not have to go out and spend the money right now for groceries. And this is our choice right now. Tell you what, we've had times in our life with my illness or different things that have happened where financially I was very grateful that we did not have to go shopping.
Right.
It was really, really helpful, or during some kind of emergency,
Right.
really grateful. I'm just going to say this one thing real quickly. We're getting some comments that, are you sure that food is safe? Is that what, Elizabeth has had problems with strokes and TIAs and all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to be addressing that more. But actually, I am losing weight. I am been able to, until this thing happened, was getting stronger and stronger. And the doctors, the experts have basically told me that it's a good thing I was doing that because it's helping my recovery. What's going on in my head has nothing to do with what I have been eating. And actually, I've been getting more fruits, more veggies, eating more regular, steady meals. So I don't want to get into it a whole lot right now, but I want to reassure people that, I'm not getting sick because I'm eating some kind of weird food. We don't think anything of eating frozen food from
Right.
the store. Well, this has just been flash frozen very quickly and very cold, and then nothing but the water taken out.
Yep.
So it's probably preserving the nutrition and all of the different components in it better even than if it was just naturally frozen and then kept in the frozen state.
Right. We get
So-
comments on a regular basis of people concerned about that we're not eating healthy because we're eating that stuff. Well, like she mentioned, you wouldn't be concerned if we were just eating frozen vegetables. You wouldn't even think about it.
Right.
You probably wouldn't be concerned if we were just eating canned vegetables. Those are not as healthy as frozen. Thrive is just, as she said, it's just frozen food, and then all they do is take the frozen food and put it into a vacuum chamber, take all the oxygen
H2O.
there, take all the oxygen out and all the pressure out, and that sucks the moisture out, and then they put it in a can. That's all there is. There's
Right.
nothing else added. There's all the nutrients are still there. Everything is still there except for the water.
Yeah, H2O is the only thing that has been
So
removed.
all you do is just add the water back, and it becomes just like a can of green beans. A frozen bag of green beans that you've let thaw out.
In fact, one of the differences is that with very few exceptions, there's also absolutely no salt.
Right.
Many frozen foods
Right.
have to have a little bit of salt, So no, most of it just, when you look at the ingredient, it is peas,
Yeah.
pineapple, whatever,
Now, the Simple Plate meals obviously have some salt because they have some spices and herbs and things in it for flavoring. And a few of the meats will say seasoned meat, and it has a little bit of salt in it, but not much.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that's it. Those are the only exceptions. Nothing else. None of the other products have any salt in them. No MSG, no preservatives, no food color, nothing.
Right. And you have to look, like I said, there's an occasional one, like you said, with some of the meaters and things like that, where they'll have a little bit in there, and I'm sure there's reasons for that.
Right.
But no, the vast majority of the time, just look on there and it's just one ingredient. Kale, spinach, whatever.
And if you want to see the ingredients, if you're looking on the website and you're looking at an individual product page, green beans, for instance, scroll down towards the bottom and there's a tab there that says about this product. Click on there, it'll give you all the nutritional information.
Yeah.
It'll give you the shelf life, it'll give you all the ingredients, everything you need right there.
Right.
So,
And I was not eating any of this food when I actually had the stroke. We hadn't even started.
right, she
Yeah.
had her first stroke 2 years before we even started Thrive. So
Yeah. So it's
her
just,
stroke and her issues here have nothing to do with Thrive. In fact, Thrive is actually helping her to recover.
well, just, eating better, eating healthier, more regular meals, and eating a lot of fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
They've said it's a good thing I'm doing that, So, well, I won't get into it a whole lot now, but they don't know why my brain likes to form clots. They've tested everything you can possibly imagine. And just, I do have a clotting disorder that I inherited, but that shouldn't be enough to be doing this. So we'll see. I don't know. But that's in God's hands. But anyway, the main thing.
Yeah, so this wasn't supposed to become a
medical.
Thrive nutrition video,
No,
but it
no.
just sort of...
Well, it's just
Anyway.
we've been getting so many questions about that.
Right.
And but anyway, the main thing is people have asked us, well, what are you eating for like a week if you're not going to the store? So we just wanted to let you know that we can occasionally do this.
Yeah. Now, we're not going to be making videos of all of them because we've already eaten most of them.
Yeah.
And we're not going to be putting the recipes down below. That would be real tedious for us to do that.
I get too much going on right now. I can't write
but
it
that,
this
we
time.
gave you the basic idea of what we're eating and what we're putting in each
Yeah.
one. So let your inner chef take over and figure it out.
And as we go along, we'll try to be giving you more information about stuff like this because that was a good idea.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we're trying to respond to the questions, and I gotta stop turning my head so much.
Yeah.
Whew. Can't
So-
do that very well.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So thank you very much
I'll look at handsome in the camera here.
for listening. And we will definitely take you along when we go on our trip,
Yeah, well,
which
I'll
is
look-
happening very soon.
Yep, won't be too much longer. Woohoo! Hoo! So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
So thanks for watching, and you be blessed, and you
Yes.
have a great day.
Okay, love you guys. Okay.
Bye. We are going on our anniversary trip very...
I'm not gonna say blooper. No.